Hey guys, this is AgentMindStorm and welcome back to Mindcraft. Today we are starting in the chest room as we do many times because we have some new netherite pieces to make. So for starters, in between episodes, I went mining for a lot of netherite, and when I say a lot of netherite, oh my gosh, do I mean a lot of netherite? I mean I spent days. Just kidding. I spent a long time, though, just underground in the nether, blowing up beds to endless amounts of netherrack, and eventually we got enough netherite that we can now turn everything netherite. We will not have any more diamond pieces. We're finally done with that, thankfully, before I lost my mind completely. So I'm also going to use some netherite just to be like chest fillers because we do need stuff to be in the chest so the sorting system will work. But with these 6 pieces of netherite, we can now turn our pickaxe, axe, shovel, boots, and helmet into netherite. And what do you mean boots, Agent Mindstorm? Don't you already have Agent's soul skis, which were called Agent swimming fins before, but I renamed them? Well, how observant of you. I actually have frostwalker boots that have just been sitting in this chest, diamond armor. I also have trousers of the mind in here, which I'm not going to use those, but because we have Agent's heavy trousers, which have normal protection. But these boots are going to be netherited too, because I may as well have netherite depth strider and netherite frostwalker in my inventory. A lot of these boots I ended up renaming because they don't really work with netherite anymore. So for example, it was called Agent's Diamond Crown, Agent's Swimming Fins V2, which didn't even make sense for diamond, Agent's Shiny Spade, Agent's Frozen Boots, and now once they're black, they're not going to really work. So first, let's turn everything black. Let's turn it into netherite. So I made my crown Agent's Quantum Crown because I think that sounds a lot cooler, and it really works for any material too. Agent Scoriaceous Boots is apparently a word used for certain types of rocks, especially magma and hot rocks, and I thought that sounded cool because these boots are supposed to be super hot if they're... Wait a second. If they're super hot, they wouldn't turn water to ice. Anyway, let's ignore that glaring inconsistency. The ultimate pickaxe, which now has Fortune 3 on it, is getting netherited. The battle axe, which has just been a good thing for a while, is now netherite. And the shiny spade, which I still don't have a better name for. If you have a better name for this shiny spade, feel free to tell me in the comments. And look at that. Cover me in debris. Today, we are going to go and build an iron farm for that aforementioned beacon. I actually never mentioned the beacon before. For that beacon that we got last episode, because last episode we killed the wither, we don't actually have a beacon, we just have a nether star, but we're going to make it beacon, and we need a lot of iron for a beacon, so we're building an iron farm. I actually fully designed a cool looking iron farm between episodes, so we already have the design down. I just need a place to build it. And I was thinking over here, so it is A, really close to my house, B is pretty much always loaded when we're in the chest room or in our house, or really anywhere near here, and C, it's flat, and we need a flat open area for this farm. So the base of the design is there's a little hole in the center of the farm, and then there's water that goes out 5 blocks in each direction from it. Then above this middle thing, 3 blocks above it, there's a cauldron with a zombie in it, which I should probably build now rather than later before I forget. This farm is very heavily built based upon basalt, or basalt, or whatever you call it. I think that's cool because basalt is something, when they first added it, I was like, how are they going to make that interesting? It's just, you can have basalt, or you can polish it, and that's all it does. But no, it turns out basalt is actually a very, very good building block. I wish I had known that because, well, actually, I know it now, so I guess it really doesn't matter, but the basis of this farm is just all basalt, and it kinda will look like a meteor filled with basalt and blackstone hit the ground right here. That's the coolest way I could get it to fit into the world without looking super out of place. What you see here is the funnel of the farm, the most fundamentally important part of it. These water streams will push any iron golems that get attracted to the zombie in that cauldron. They'll get in the stream, they'll get pushed into the middle, and they will burn to death by lava that is going to be placed here, 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 and here. And before I get much further in the video, I should probably mention that this is a farm design by Ray Works. Now, I guess I could link the video in the description where I originally got it, but he had like 5 different tutorials on it, so I'm not even sure which one to link. You'll see, it's in the comments below. You may think, Agent, you just love sprinkling in random variation now, don't you? First you did the Darkacia tree, and now you're doing this, and to that I say, yes, you're right. Now that it's close to night, I think we can work on trapping a zombie in the farm. Now, of course, we need a zombie so that the villagers are scared, and when the villagers are scared, they'll try to summon iron golems, which is the point of the farm. So, all we really need to do is make a zombie think that it can safely get up here and grab a villager and kill it. Now, there's no villager, so we might actually have to use ourselves as bait. And once we've got the zombie in the cauldron, we can actually name it, and we're going to name it Sully, like the guy from Monsters, Inc., because I think that iron farms basically run on being scared energy. So, I think that's perfect. Actually, maybe we'll use a husk, because we also have husks over here, and that would work just as well. Okay, come on up, husk. And then, now we'll pull up, pull it up, and then, no, come back, okay, and, no. What are you doing? And before I forget, Sully. We got him. It just took a lot of pain. Now this is how I imagined this would look. I think it looks great. Look at that. It's like, it seriously, I keep saying it looks like an asteroid, but once again, it looks like an asteroid just fell from the sky, smacked into my world, and then we built a farm on top of it, and that's kind of exactly what I want it to look like. You know what it looks like from here, though, that I'm kind of ashamed of admitting that this is the first thing I think of? You know when in Fortnite they had that season with all of the giant gray areas that were like anti-gravity? That's what it looks like to me initially. It'll look better once we have a farm built on top of it, don't worry. I think what we need to do now is actually move the villagers over here so that we can get the farm part of it functioning. Even though there's no collection system yet, we can at least have the iron golems dying so that we know it works. So I thought of a cool name for this farm. I didn't just want to call it the Iron Farm because that's super generic, and pretty much everything in my world now has a special name. We got the Pumpkin Prison, the Darkacia Tree, the Snow Castle, the Joe's House, Ender House, Skeleton Stable. So what should this be called? Well, I've decided on the Iron Meteor. Doesn't that sound so cool? It's because, you know, meteors actually, or comets or whatever, I know those are all completely different things, meteors, asteroids, and comets, but whatever, they're similar, big space rocks, and sometimes they even have resources inside of them, so Iron Meteor actually makes sense. But anyway, in between clips, what I've done here is I've set up these posts, which will be the roof of the farm to stop lightning from possibly striking the villagers. I also set up the villager containment chamber, which is that thing in there. And now I moved the little track up there so that it actually moved the villagers over here instead of to the village. This little catching system is how I've set it up so the villagers won't die, because last time when we used it, we suffered a few villager deaths. I've also decided instead of just using lava in the killing system, we're going to use some of those wither roses because we need something that can kill mobs that aren't 3 blocks tall because iron golems can be killed by the lava just fine, but if you put a zombie in there or a skeleton, it'll just kind of sit in there and not die. And we could use water or something, but I don't think that looks as cool as wither roses. That is my reasoning for using 9 wither roses out of our 12, is because it looks cool. Deal with it. So here are our villagers. I honestly am trying to figure out uses for these guys because I don't just want to kill them. That just feels wrong. They've been in here in this poor little box for so long, we might as well either use them for a different farm or set them free in the village. Oh, speaking of, between episodes, I really did turn that village into a real village. I gave it way more village machines and beds, and I replanted everything, so it's a real village now, by 1.14 standards. So let's hope these villagers survive their trip to the Iron Meteor, where they will be used to spawn and in perpetual fear for the rest of their lives. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Perfect. What happened to that guy? Why is he going the other way? With these 2 villagers that did make it, here's how we're going to do it. We're going to put an activator rail in the middle so that I don't have to risk punching them, and I forgot the activator rail. So we're going to put an activator rail in the middle, a lever, and then we're just going to pull it once... Oh, the other villager arrived. Good. So we're going to push the villager kind of on there. I assumed this would not be as difficult as it is. So we're going to push the villager onto the activator rail and then activate. And that didn't work. Okay, 1 guy's in. Come on. Okay. What the? Wait, how did he get out of there? That was a... Oh, the minecart fell down. Okay, I thought he just jumped out of the minecart, which is not allowed. Let's set up the killing machine right now. So I'm just going to use soul sand in the killing machine because it turns out you can't plant wither roses on anything anymore. I was very disappointed to find that out because I thought you could just put them on like magma or whatever, which would make the meteors super cool. But you can't. So there's that out the window. But with lava, that's good enough. And if you're worried about me using this wood here, it's a good thing that the nether wood doesn't burn, so it can look stylish while also not burning. I probably shouldn't be down here when I fill it with death wither roses, so let's do it from up here. Oh, there we go. See, now this is really a pet of death. Anything that falls in here, except for wither skeletons and the wither itself, will slowly and painfully die. If it's an iron golem, though, it'll get a swifter death because of this lava. Just because the farm is already functional, I'm already seeing iron golems spawning. I think we should just build the most important part now, the collection system, so that we can actually start getting some of the stuff from the farm. There we go. See, that's exactly what I wanted. So it can come down here, goes around, collects the items, zooms back on the system in the same way. Now we need to build the collection part of the collection system. The way this system works is you've got the 1 powered rail on the hopper, then you've got the detector rail 3 blocks out, and then normal rails between. So it'll just kind of hit a block here, which can just be stone or something, I don't know. And once it hits that block, if it has items, it'll stay there and unload them. If it doesn't have items, it just bounces straight back. So all we need is a little simple comparator system right here, which will go like... I forgot the comparator. Alright, I got it figured out. It just took a little bit of streamlining this system. It's actually very simple now. So that hits that, turns off the torch, turns off this. Then while it's turned off, if items go into the hopper, the rail will stay off. If there's no items in the hopper, the rail turns back on, sends it back out. So this is basically to make sure that it unloads all of its items before it goes back into the system. We do need a block here. That's kind of important. And off it goes! So now it's a collection system. That also needs power here, because yes, that's how powered rails work. How do I keep making mistakes like this? Just, you'd think after all these years of me building contraptions that I would get a little better at it after a while. Oh, there we are, poppies, rotten flesh, and iron ingots. Wow! When's it gonna stop? This farm's only been running for like 15 minutes. 30 iron! 30 iron in like 15 minutes, and more iron still coming through. Yeah, I think it's a good idea to build the collection system before the farm is done, just because we can keep collecting while it's here. Now, of course, this is not final. This is just temporary. This is so ugly. If I actually left this as the final collection system, I would be ashamed. That is just a temporary system so it can collect the iron while we're still building it. Which does lead me into the fact that this is the end of this episode, because this project just ended up getting really big, and I didn't intend for it to take so long, so we'll just need to finish it next episode. But for now, I do want to tell you all, thanks for watching, and I will see you later.